But recently, whenever she thinks of Charlie, her heartbeat speeds up hard for her to sustain herself. Even if Charlie is not in front of her, she still feels nervous, and her heart is like a small deer. At this moment, even looking at Charlie from a distance, she still felt her heartbeat speed up. Moreover, when she saw Charlie's expression somewhat regrettable, she felt a burst of joy in her heart. Just as when she was in the ring, seeing Charlie's eyes with a bit of distress made her very satisfied. So she hurriedly said to the boss, "Boss, add another cup of milk tea." The boss said, "Miss, we are about to close, and the clerk is off work. I can't make milk tea now, sorry." "Okay." Nanako nodded helplessly. At this moment, she suddenly saw Charlie walking towards the right side of the gate of Thompson's villa, so she hurriedly held her milk tea and ran out. Charlie thought that Nanako was gone, so he planned to go to the drugstore to buy a box of liver-protecting tablets for the old man to go back for business. When he came to the door of the pharmacy, he discovered that a huge poster was hung at the door of the pharmacy. Sarah, who was beautiful and charming, was holding JX Wisen. There was also a slogan written by her hand: "New traditional medicine, new domestic products, I trust JX Wisen." Below, there is her personal signature. Charlie stepped into the drugstore and found that several people were consulting the salesperson. "Hey, girl, I want the JX Wisen endorsed by Sarah, give me a box." "Give me a box too." "I also want." The salesperson smiled and asked, "You all buy them for collection, right?" "How do you know?" one of the men asked in surprise. "Are you also a fan of Sarah?" "That's right." The salesperson smiled, "I am a fan of Sarah. I bought JX Wisen today." Almost all of them are her fans. After all, this is the first time she endorses an actual product, which is quite collectible. After speaking, the salesperson said again, "I heard that this medicine is quite effective, and it has a good effect on various discomforts of the spleen and stomach. You can buy it as a stock medicine." A young man who got a whole box said, "I am going to store this box as a whole, but I am not willing to open it and eat it. I will buy it later when I need it. Here to just collect the copy first." When Charlie saw this, he couldn't help being surprised. He really didn't expect that Sarah's influence could be so strong that fans would flock to buy the products she endorsed and go back to collect them. Just when he was surprised, a few more people came to buy JX Wisen, at least one box, and even 10 boxes in excess. After finally waiting for the people who bought JX Wisen to leave, Charlie stepped to the counter and said, "Hello, please bring me a box of liver protection tablets." The salesperson nodded, took a box of liver-protecting tablets and handed it to him, and said, 39.8. "Thank you." Charlie gave a hum, scanned the code to pay, and then came out of the drugstore with the tablets. When he went out, he was looking down at the ingredients in this tablet, and he thought to himself that many men nowadays have a drink at the bar, and alcohol hurts the liver. No matter how less you drink, it will damage your liver. Therefore, liver-protecting drugs should have a large market space in the world. There are many classic prescriptions that have been lost in the 9 Profound Heavenly Secrets, including not only the prescriptions for the stomach powder, but also the prescriptions for protecting the liver. After the JX Wisen powder becomes popular, he can launch the JX liver protection tablets. As he was thinking about it, he suddenly realized that there was a figure rushing in front of him. He subconsciously mobilized his whole body and prepared himself for a defensive counterattack. But he fixed his eyes and saw that who was standing in front of him wearing a mask. Nanako with eyes like a bright moon. He was a little surprised at once, thinking that the girl was gone, but he didn't expect her to be here. At this time, Nanako was ashamed and nervous. She looked at Charlie's face up close, and suddenly she didn't know what to say, so her brain became hot, and she passed the milk tea in her hand to him, and said with a smile, "Mr. Wade, please drink milk tea." In fact, Nanako didn't know what to say at once, so when she had the idea, she passed the milk tea out. As for Charlie, although he felt a little surprised, he did not drink a sip of water since he went out to pick up his father-in-law, and he was really dry. So, he took it subconsciously, smiled and said, "Thank you, just thirsty." As he said, he lowered his head and bit the straw, and took a big mouthful. Only then did Nanako react and exclaimed in her heart, "Oops. I've had a few sips of this cup of milk tea just now. Although I only took a few sips, I have already drunk it. That's awful. Then, didn't I kiss Charlie indirectly?" Charlie didn't know that Nanako had drunk this milk tea. While drinking the milk tea, Charlie said, "Miss Ito, came to see me so late. What's the matter?" Nanako was in extreme shame. She has received 20 years of rigorous education from the ladies, and she knows the importance of the 6 words, men and women give or receive. This can be said to be the closest contact between herself and the opposite S3X. Therefore, her heart at this time was both nervous and anxious. However, other than that, she was still faintly excited. When she was flustered, Charlie asked her, "Why are you here?" Nanako said nervously, I am on the way. Oh no, Nanako doesn't know how to lie, so suddenly she didn't know how to answer his question, and she immediately messed up her position.